Morning, it's me, Skattosan. Yes, I'm wearing a Tweety onesie. It's the Mrs.'s? Mrs.'s. In any case, I wonder if that little record thing is movable. No? Okay. I've been having a hard time staying in bed, staying asleep for an extended period of time. Um, and one thing I think that's keeping me up is stress. Stress about what, Scott? What do you have to be stressed about? You got a beautiful woman, you've got a wonderful kid, handsome, smart, you know, you have a job, you have a place to live, you got food in your stomach. What do you have to be stressed about? Bills, making sure they're paid. Now, granted, I know, even though I'm stressed, and I know that they're getting paid, I'm still stressed. So, I have this list of bills. Oh, I was going to show you on my phone, but I'm using my phone to record. So I was, I have a list of bills that I use on an Excel spreadsheet through Google Documents, Google Drive. Um, well, that I knew I was missing something off that list, and it is, uh, I think it's almost $100 for having my wisdom teeth removed. Um, and that stresses me out. Now that I figured it out, I know that it can be taken care of. We have savings. We're able to, pull from that in order to use it for whatever. And in this case, we might have to use it for that because I'm trying not to use um, Ashley's funds towards that. Now she'll probably say, well, depending on what my first check is, we'll evaluate what we need to spend on what, where, why. Well, I really want Ashley to be able to enjoy her checks, contribute with her checks, but not feel obligated to worry about bills. At this point in time, what it is that I make takes care of everything that we currently have set up. The only thing that we're not doing that I think family would like us to be doing is paying more for rent, helping out more, for like food and rent and stuff like that. And the only reason why is because I, as whom earns, out of the two of us, earns the most, still doesn't make that much. So that stresses me out. For the past month, 2, 3, I've been debating on reevaluating my career choice. I've been at war with this, okay, the most important set of documents that I truly believe I have to date, that I've created from me. Redwood Samurai. Notes on ranking and um, events, etc. Debating on whether or not I should continue to focus on that, or if I should focus on gaining a skill, a trade. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that through the decision process, that my dream will become unnecessary. Because I feel that at some point I will decide that I can't make a living off of training people, bringing them up, and empowering them. And as Mr. Bracy said, altering, transforming, evolving the culture of those around me. For, I was going to say a real job, but so giving up that dream, that desire to do what I feel is my purpose for a trade skill job that would most likely earn a hefty amount of money, hefty being more than I've ever made. That doesn't mean like astronomical. To provide for my family and I. I am worried. I am worried that I will settle because I haven't been diligent in being persistent with keeping my mind focused on how to make it a reality. It being the Redwood Samurai. Now, granted, it is. It's here. It's there. It's everywhere. Everybody who I've touched is a part of it. The missus said that she feels that I should just train. That, and she said it with respect, and I took it with respect. I respected the fact that she had said this. That she feels that I should train, and that I'm not ready to train others in the way of Kendo and Yaido. That I need more training so that I can teach on a better level. I didn't disagree with her when she said this. I agreed. I've been wanting to get back into training. Though from my readings and teachings that I've stumbled upon, Bruce Lee, Miyamoto Musashi, are just two examples of individuals who were more than the regimented way. Now, there's no one way of going about things, but these two individuals stand out because they went against the tide. They reinvented themselves through what was. They broke themselves down to the very core of what it was to be a human being through martial valor. How to um, and so I come to terms with that when I'm thinking about going back into the dojo and training. Kendo is a magnificent sport. Iaido also very elegant. Um, th- th- I would almost be I almost would dare to say that there's not much there because it's so simple. But therein lies the elegance, is that it's straightforward, simple, direct, um, and then through the simplicity, you seek perfection. But that therein lies the challenge of how do you make that um, alluring? How do you make that marketable, profitable? I'm not really looking for profit. I don't seek to buy mansions, with uh, sharing what it is that I've learned. Do I think I should be paid for my time? Probably. Have I been paid for my time? Not yet. So imagine that. Well, actually, I have, I guess, when I was working for Assets for Encina, my old school, high school. But it wasn't mine. I made it mine, but I wasn't earning my income. I mean, it was, but like, I wasn't setting my, um, I wasn't setting my station, my stipend, whatever you want to call it. I attempted to. Mr. Bracy said that in some instances, I'm paraphrasing, a younger crowd, like say junior high, is more willing to listen because they're not as saturated in the mentality of I'm too cool to listen to this idea or ideal or whatever. And I've been kind of butting my head against that. Not what he said, but ever since I wanted to start teaching anything, and I wanted to start teaching the moment I had a ceramics class back in junior high, high school. I knew I wanted to be a ceramics teacher. Then I wanted to be an English teacher. Then I wanted to be a math teacher. I've always been interested in wanting to cultivate human beings. inspire, to inflict a seed that is so annoying that I almost don't even want to share it. The seed that I want to plant in people's minds is a continuous discomfort. What was the quote? That one should remain in a perpetual state of discomfort. I don't know who said it. It's part of a conglomeration or a collage of speeches that I listen to from a motivational speech. So, a perpetual state of discomfort. I should not be comfortable with what I have right now. That I should not settle for just being content. And I'm not. My job is satisfying. Don't get me wrong. It's taken a while for the students to shine on to me so that I can actually engage them one-on-one or as a group, and they take on to that. You know, they're no longer butting heads with me per se. 3 months, and finally, I'm like in the in crowd kind of thing. Like they respect me. Um, but I know I can do more. I can do more than what the job title is restricting me, not refining, restricting me to. It's like a, it's like a dog on a chain, and he could do so much more to that mailman if this chain wouldn't hold me back. No fences, no chains. It's kind of a bad analogy because it's very ferocious. But hey, what is swordsmanship? It's ferocious. It's the art of removing life, which is another thing that is very difficult to um, bring about an understanding of, is the difference between the art of something, the skill, the passion, all this non-militant aspect of martial arts and martial valor, and then the other side, obviously, the martial, the martialist uh, mentality, lifestyle. Anyone can have like appreciation for something, but to live it and be almost succumbed by it, those are the individuals who soar in it. They're training all the time. I'm not doing that. There's a lot of things that I've allowed to be in the way, even though I have time to do it. I feel guilty if I go out and train. I feel guilty that I'm not playing with my son or helping clean, taking turns to, doing dishes or unloading the dishwasher, like basically what I'm saying is I'm still at a point in my life where I haven't gotten my rotation, gaming terminology, down. I haven't got my rotation down. I haven't gotten my routine down. My the how do I put this? I haven't found the appropriate level of, if I do this chore, I can do this training solo, without a care in the world of what other people are doing or anything like that. so that I can focus on it. But that's another thing, is it takes time for the mind and the body to detach from all the other stressful stuff, all the other things that are in your life, so that you can focus on training. It takes a little bit of time. It doesn't take, 15 minutes. It doesn't take. I mean, it varies in time, obviously. Sometimes you can just go out there and be like, ta ta ta. But I guess that's actually one reason why it's nice to have an institution, a location to go train. Because like if I go out right outside here, we're in an apartment complex. I can't just train and be uh, mindless. Take Last Samurai for instance. Tom Cruise, okay, he plays a character who is thrust into a foreign nation, and um, he begins to learn the art of the Japanese sword. Okay, well, one of them, the natives of Japan, tries to tell him that he's focused on too many people's eyes. He says, "No mind, to have no mind." That there's too many minds that he's worrying about as they're watching him. Like, well, what are they thinking over here about me doing this right here? So he's distracted, too worried about things that he has no control over, and not focusing on what's happening with him and to him. So no mind. That's one of the things that's been keeping me from training, is that I don't have a place to train in no mind. I try. I take my book and um, to the trash for me and swing it as I come back. But every time I cross the street on the way back, I walking down the sidewalk, the moment I hear or sense someone around me or watching, I'm no longer training. No longer only training. My mind is no longer only on training. Now, can you have a no mind in the presence of minds? Yes. I just hit my shin with that, and it hurt. Not too bad, but whatever. Um, I'm ranting. This is almost 25 minutes long. Um, I really wanted to come here and talk about AutoCAD. Okay, I have a program on my computer. It's very similar to this. Okay, this is Autodesk, which is a 3D AutoCAD. Um, and I also have an AutoCAD book there. And I was sitting here thinking, I was like, I should think about getting back into AutoCAD. I know I'm good at it, and I know that I can be better at it. If either one, I take more classes, or I go back through the book and do them again, learning the skills and the tools and how they work. Now I have a new version of the program since I've purchased these books for college, so it'll be a little different, but that doesn't mean that the interface hasn't become easier to use. So it should be all right. I want I want opinions on what it is I should do and focus on. And then the moment I thought about that, I knew the answer, which was basically a rhetorical question because I didn't want answers. I know the answer. there's two answers. There's one, focus on it wholeheartedly, and if you fail, you fail. Or two, do both. Both. Oh yeah, that's possible. Lots of people who are successful do more than one thing, or are uh, fluent in more than one thing. Proficient, that's the word I was looking for. Proficient in one thing, or even masters in more than one thing. Musashi. Something about that that masters of this sword, or like individuals of the way of the sword, or anyone who's a practitioner thereof. I'm going to use the word must be practitioners of an art, writing, sculpting, uh, painting. From what I'm to understand, Musashi was an avid practitioner of wood carving, painting. I've seen some, I believe, I haven't seen it in person, but some of his are some of the best in the world. For sure, Japan. I think they're oil paintings or something. Color paintings. Color paintings is so off topic. Not topic, but the wrong word. It's almost like a watercolor looks like, because it's very soft colors. I don't know what kind of inks they use. Anyways, um, so I almost want to say that it's about balance. That one has to be, and how interesting. Okay, so I was thinking about this as well. There is a sword shop that is less than 1 hour away. One of the best in the world right now. It's ranking the highest with its cut tests. In most cases, better than Japanese steel. Now, granted, I think a large portion of it has to do with how that person's training, and if you use the tool correctly. So I haven't really seen very many videos, but I have seen some that are of angel swords, and it's miraculous how many maki mats they're able to cut through. So yeah. What am I trying to say? Oh, so I was thinking about going. I'm gonna go in here to my email. I'm going to message them again and say a few things. You know, I don't even know what I'm gonna say, but basically, I'm gonna say I would like to come down and visit your location. I want to tour it if that's possible, and let them know that I'm gonna be off. I'm off every weekend right now, and that this summer completely wide open, and that I would like to help them prepare for the Ren Fair for the following year, this year. I think I'll be able to establish something. Yeah, because I was sitting here looking at one of my bokens that I made. Okay, this is some of my wood carving. Okay, it's very it's actually not even straight. It goes to the side a little bit. See how it's bowed? That's not straight. Anyways, this was done with one hand tool. It was a planer. So I could have done better if I had the tools and the mind at the time, which I did not, obviously. Product of your tools and your environment. In any case, I'm going to hop off of here. Thank you for listening. Almost 30 minutes. This is Skattosan and Tweety, the Road Forest Owl. We'll catch you on the flip side.